What is going on, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, cats and dogs? You are listening to another episode of the Hardcore Geek Podcast, where we talk comic books, we talk movies, we talk a whole bunch of stuff. But today we're talking nothing but Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. Right here in the Batcave, in the studio, I got the host so nice we nicknamed her twice. She is the one and only, the undisputed champion of the bakery. I don't have any other. I'm not good at these anymore. It's MeShell.
I really think that we've started to run out of nicknames.
I know. I used to be able to come up with just weird shit off the top of my head, but today that did not happen.
It's okay. It's okay.
So I'm very excited. It's been a minute. I'm glad you're here.
Yeah.
I'm very excited to talk about Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. Holy crap.
I'm so excited.
Oh, my God, yeah. So, before we do all that stuff, we're going to get a little shameless plugs out. Guys, if you're listening live, you're obviously right here on Spreaker, but you can check us out at the Hardcore Geek Network. That is at Spreaker.com/user/HardcoreGeek. You can join in the conversation, join in the chat. Talk with yourselves, because I'm not going to respond. So, and that's not by choice. That's just because I'm terrible at it. Also, you can check us out all past episodes at hardcoregeekcast.com. We're on Facebook and Twitter. Twitter at HCGeekcast and Facebook at Geek Podcast 1. I believe that's correct. We're also on the gram, the Instagram at Hardcore Geek Podcast. You can find us on there. We will post randomness and unboxings and all that fun stuff. So, a lot of cool stuff. We're going to see if we can cram this all into 45 minutes. I'm sure there's a lot that we're not going to be able to cover, but if you are listening to this now, I'm telling you right now, it's in the title, there's spoilers. If you haven't seen Guardians yet,
do not listen.
And if you listen to this, I mean, shame on you.
Your fault, because I'm going to talk about all the things.
Exactly, all the things.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so you got to go see it the night before, and I'm super jealous.
I got to see it Thursday night.
You got to see it Thursday night. Which, okay, can we just be honest? Like, movie debut or movie releases, they used to always just be on Friday.
Right.
But now, like, everything's Thursday. You know,
right.
It used to be, like, special if it was Thursday or, like, Wednesday or something goofy like that.
Well, it used to be, like, midnight.
Yeah, but now
you could go. But now it's, like, 7 o'clock on Thursday.
Yeah, you can just go out to dinner and...
So is it really... I don't feel like it's that special anymore.
No.
Yeah.
Now it's going to be, like, if it comes out on Wednesday now.
Oh, yeah. It's going to be week-long stuff now.
And I think, like, Star Wars did that. I'm pretty sure they did.
I don't know.
They did something like that.
I can't remember.
I remember seeing Force Awakens like 7 a.m. in the morning. That was crazy.
That's nuts.
Yeah, it was nuts.
Absolutely
nuts. It
nuts.
was nuts. But, okay, so you got to go night before. You got your Groot cup, your baby Groot cup that you've been flashing around on social media. I almost bought it, but I didn't want to spend $8 on it. So I bought the $6 collector's cup.
Well, I got so when I went, I was so pumped. The only reason we even went to that movie theater was because I wanted the popcorn bucket and the cup. I love Groot. He makes me happy.
Wait, how much did you pay for that popcorn bucket?
$10.
Holy. Okay, does that include the popcorn?
Yeah.
Oh, then you're fine.
Yeah.
I mean, it's still ridiculous for popcorn.
Oh, yeah.
Still.
But I get to keep that forever. Now I get to pop my own popcorn and put it in there. So it's fine. I'm totally okay with it. When I got there, I was like, I need the bucket and the cup. And so she, like, hands me this black and white cup. Which is the poster, and I'm like, no, I need the Groot cup. And she was like, oh, we didn't get those. And I'm like, why didn't you tell me before I asked for it?
Oh my God, did you
I was so mad.
How did you get it then?
I did. Well, so I posted on Facebook that I didn't get the cup, and I asked a couple of friends of mine if they were going to see it, if they had the cup, if they would buy me the cup. And one of my friends did me a solid and
they bought you the cup.
Bought me the cup.
Wow, there you go.
I am loved.
You are loved, and then that is a pretty badass cup there. But
that cup is amazing.
That's just like the tip of the iceberg. This movie was fantastic. I kind of want to go into it. Obviously, the movie takes place about 2 months after Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 1. They're kind of doing jobs for hire, you know, based on their reputation of saving the galaxy from before. We open up. Okay, first of all, let's talk about the opening sequence. Can we just it was perfect. And
I loved it. Wait, are you talking about the credits scene, or right before the credits scene?
I'm talking about the credits scene. So we're going to skip first of all, the de-aging of Patrick. Or why did I say Patrick Swayze?
I don't know. Kurt Russell.
He's dead. We can bring back Dalton maybe one day. So Kurt Russell, they de-aged him. I mean, every year, whenever they do this, the de-aging gets better and better.
They did so good.
I think like my favorite is still the Michael Douglas one from Ant-Man.
Oh yeah,
really good.
Yeah.
But Kurt Russell, he looked really good. You know, it is the 80s
that
feathered hair, the
I
feathered
loved
hair.
it.
And we see
He was so handsome.
He's a handsome dude. Not gonna lie, still is a handsome dude.
Yes.
So we show like it's kind of like a nice little flashback. We show him and Mama Quill, right? And I kind of get a little bit of a peek into the window of their relationship. Seems like a real cool dude, you know?
Yeah.
And I like the whole thing, like, you know, I'm gonna marry. I think I can't believe I married a spaceman or something like that.
Yeah, like I fell in love with the spaceman or something like that.
Yeah. So we go and we see this weird thing that he's planting. So obviously it's, you know.
I thought it was a flower.
I thought it was a flower too, but we find out that it's pieces of him. Really.
That's gross.
I know, right?
It's really gross when you think about it.
So we fast forward. We are on this just a random planet where the oh god, what are the names?
Sovereign.
The Sovereigns. Yeah, Sovereign planet. Guardians are awaiting the arrival of this like galactic freaking just giant booger with teeth.
The thing was disgusting.
I know there's probably like technical names for it, but the whole time I love it. Opens up. Rocket's trying to get this music to play, and he's like, "Hey, I thought it'd be cool if we can listen to some tunes while we work, you know." And he blames Quill. This kind of like sets like a little bit of
you missed the best line before even that.
What is that? You already watched this multiple times. What's it?
When he says my nipples are sensitive.
Oh my god! Okay, Dave Bautista on this one is absolutely hilarious with his one-liners. Drax is great, but like the whole thing, yeah, he didn't.
So good.
He didn't want to wear the jetpack because he has sensitive nipples.
Oh, my nipples!
I love it, and then we actually get a call back to this later on, which is amazing. But
anyways, sorry.
No, and then like we see like parts from the trailer where Quill is kind of tracking it with his old 1980s football game. He turned into, you know, modded it into like a tracking
That was so
device.
cool. Super
cool. We get the little interactions between him and Gamora where she's using guns and he kind of gets a little butthurt about it.
Yeah.
And then I'm sorry, but it is literally, and I'm not saying this just because we've coming off the high, because it's been a week since I've seen it. Mm-hmm. This is the best opening sequence I've seen in a very long time.
Oh, yeah. I was talking with our other co-host that comes on, Joe.
Yeah.
And I said to him flat out, I was like, this is the best opening credit scene I've ever seen in my life. It beats Deadpool. And he was like, that's fighting words. And I was
right?
I know, but just wait.
So just the whole thing with Groot finally getting the music to work and just showing him sick his little butt
shaking and the dancing.
And the fact that, like, it's following him around, but the whole time he's narrowly missing being just killed the whole time.
Right.
And then, like, randomly he goes and runs and tries to fight and beat up these little
rat things. Yeah.
And I like when Rocket, this is after the sequence where he's like, I am Groot. He's like, they didn't look at you funny. Like, yeah. I love, it's a little bit more interaction between.
I like when he eats the bug and he's like, spit it out.
The whole
he's like
time.
hitting him in the head.
We get the whole thing where Batista or Drax lands on the speakers.
Oh my gosh!
Groot gets so pissed and just starts fighting him. I love it.
I love Groot. Like I cannot. I love Groot. I cannot say enough about him.
Yeah, I mean, he's definitely the breakout star. You know, of the movie. As far as this scene goes, you know, real cool, you know, kind of seeing them work together. You still see that they're kind of not all on the same page. I love the whole thing where Drax is like, we got to pierce its skin from the inside. And Gamora's like, that's stupid. That makes no sense. What are you doing? He just jumps into his mouth.
I liked how, like, when Quill and Gamora are fighting back and forth, it's like, it almost seemed like they were the parents of the team, like, trying to gather their children around to, like, cooperate.
Exactly.
Yeah. I really liked and starts off great.
Oh, I love it. And then when they kill it, Gamora kills the monster. Drax, he's like, I single-handedly slayed the beast. It's
right.
Like, no, you didn't, dude.
No.
I love it.
Just let it go.
The interactions with what's her name?
Alicia,
the Sovereign Queen or whatever. Great.
She's creepy.
She is. She's like creepily hot.
She did,
is that like kind of weird? I think
she was beautiful. But yeah, I thought she was really good at being just weird.
Yeah.
Creepy.
And that's the whole thing. Like, the Sovereign, they're more or less like, they're very prissy, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
Like, they're very powerful, but they don't want to endanger themselves. You know, and it's almost kind of like this. I kind of got like the rich kid vibe from it. Like, you're rich, but you're not shit. You know. So I don't know. That's kind of what I got. But I love the interactions with Rocket. You know, you've seen this in the trailer where he's calling him like, he's like, "Oh, we thought you guys would be conceited douchebags." But that's not the thing. And the whole going back to he's using the wrong eye the whole time. You know. And then Rocket, the whole point of them being on the Sovereign planet is to protect these batteries, these combustible batteries.
Yeah.
Which we find out that Rocket just steals.
Rocket,
just to steal.
Because he wanted to.
Exactly. When they're being chased by the Sovereign fleet, first of all, I love how they do it, and I think it's actually kind of interesting how they do the air or the space combat with them not wanting to sacrifice themselves. So it's almost like they're in little video games.
Yeah.
And you do hear...
Could you hear like the ding ding?
Yeah. It was
the coins?
There was like some Galaga noises.
Yeah.
And it's not the first time Galaga's been in.
Yeah.
'Cause I think it was in Avengers, the first one, where Tony Stark calls out the dude on the...
yeah.
On well, not the Quinjet. What is the... what the hell is the thing? The helicarrier. I don't know. I'm getting off subject here.
That's okay.
The flying into the to the asteroid field, nice. This whole movie made me. If you're a Star Wars fan, it really seemed a lot like Empire Strikes Back. Okay.
Yeah, I can see that correlation.
And there's a lot of stuff. I mean, obviously the this is like one thing with the asteroid field. You know, we get that, and then also we get the whole splitting up of the team. Which that's not something we really got a lot of in the first one.
Right.
Like, what do you think of that?
Are you talking about like what, the power struggle between Rocket and?
Well, there was that, and then like the fact that like when they got split up, like when they crash landed, and then all of a sudden Ego shows up.
Yeah.
And it's like Quill, Gamora, Drax, and they go with Ego. I'm about to sneeze, so this is gonna happen.
Bless you in advance.
Yep, turn
off your mic. Bless you. So, I thought it was interesting the way that they split the team up. I liked it. I liked that it could, because we could arc into two different stories.
Yeah.
So, and I liked seeing like Rocket kind of on his own, like in developing his character a little bit, while all the other like more main characters, I guess you would say, from the last one, went and did their thing.
What did you think of him kind of being like a father figure almost to Groot?
I loved it.
Like the
I
whole
thought
thing
it was so cute.
When the Ravagers show up,
and he's like, "Just don't hurt Groot." And I was
Yeah.
like, "My heart, my heart."
This whole time, I'm thinking, because you have the conflict between Rocket and Quill, I'm thinking they're gonna do something bad to Rocket. Like he's gonna sacrifice himself. I'm like, I was
really worried.
I was like, my anxiety was like really bad this whole movie.
Yeah. I was so well. And after you text messaged me on Thursday and was like, "God, what did you say about hope no one dies or something like that?"
I know, right?
I was like,
oh
my God, this is all Ryan's fault.
I know.
If something bad happens,
it's just it kind of seemed like I think someone's gonna die in Infinity War, unfortunately.
Probably.
Oh well, we'll see.
But I mean, yeah, we'll see. But I lost my train of
No,
thought.
we're kind of all over the place. One thing I forgot to mention about the Sovereign Planet is their payment for protecting batteries.
Nebula.
Was Nebula.
Yeah, that's where I was going.
Yeah.
So
she had a huge part in this movie.
She did. And I like her so much more now. Like, I didn't like her in the first movie. I was like, she's an asshole. But
did you have a sisterly moment, like when they were fighting and then they make up and all that?
No, not like for them. I was like, oh, that's cute. Like, she was just the little sister that wanted a sister, and that's why she's an asshole. Like, so I had a moment for them. Like, I was like, that's sweet. Like, and it makes sense now that she's a jerk.
Oh my gosh, yeah, no, she's really good. What do you think of Ego? With like, I know you were googling over
Kurt Russell.
I keep wanting to say Patrick Swayze. I'm sorry, Kurt Russell.
I mean, they do both have great bone structure. So
I guess
they did.
But can Kurt Russell do a sweet roundhouse?
Probably not.
Yeah, I'd rather just punch somebody in the face.
Yeah. I really liked him as Ego. And the funny thing was, as I was watching it, and like him and Peter are developing this great bond, and it's so like loving. I'm like, no, this isn't right. He's a bad guy. Like, when is the shoe gonna fall?
Did you like the fact that like Peter didn't trust him at first? And I love how Gamora, like the line was like, "Hey, it's cool if he's evil, we'll just kill him."
Right?
Just
Yeah,
all
I
casual.
love that.
Like,
okay, yeah, we'll just kill him.
but then it kind of switched. Where like Gamora didn't trust him.
Yeah.
And then Peter's like, "No, this is my dad.
That's my dad, man. Like, leave
Like-
my dad alone."
Like, lay off." You
yeah,
know?
yeah. So I was like waiting for this shoe to drop.
So Ego is a celestial. He's like one step below a god,
Mm-hmm.
and it kind of like pays off, with Peter in the first movie being able to hold an Infinity Stone without dying,
Right.
and that's actually how Ego finds out about him that that his son is living. From here, we get introduced to a new character. I actually really love this character, Mantis.
I really liked her too.
She was funny, but she had like an innocence to her. But it's like, I really think she could fuck somebody up.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean?
And I'm hoping that they do that in the third one, like that they take her to that point to where you see her badassness come out. 'Cause
She put a whole planet to sleep.
Right.
I mean,
like, she's really cool, and I hope that they bring her out of her shell more as she gets comfortable, And I loved the relationship between her and Drax. Like,
Yes.
his backhanded comments to her, like, "Oh, you're beautiful on the inside, but you're horrifying to look at."
I love the part, and this is later on in the movie when he's sleeping and he goes to wake her up and he thinks she wants to have sex with him, and he starts gagging. He's like, the thought of me betting with you is turns my stomach. I don't know. He just whatever his.
Oh my
language
gosh,
is.
it was so funny.
He's like, you're hideous, and she's really pretty, and that's so funny.
Like.
But the whole thing, she doesn't understand it, so that's kind of like they're on the same page with that. Like, so
Yeah.
Drax is very literal, and Mantis just takes
Doesn't
whatever.
know,
She doesn't
and
know. Did you love the comment like, "I love your angry puppy"? I want to pet him.
Can I pet your puppy?
Yeah, I love
That
it.
was amazing.
There's so many like lines and interactions in this movie. This would be like a 3-hour episode.
Like, I thought they did really good with the comedic timing and the one-liners. Like, yeah, there's a lot of them, but they were poised so good. Like, they were just amazing.
Yeah.
Like,
I love how Ego does explain how he was basically nothing. He formed himself into a human form. Obviously, and he explains, and he just doesn't pull back. He's like, "Hey, I'm this is me. I'm this planet."
yeah.
And then I go down to Earth. I met your mother and all that. And the whole thing, that's where like Peter was kind of getting a little, why didn't you stay with her and stuff like that. And I think he has like one of those cop outs, like if I went back when I found out she was sick, if I went back, I couldn't.
I couldn't bear to be on a planet where she wasn't.
Yeah,
and at
that's
that
what it
moment,
was.
I'm like, lies.
Yeah, I know, right? I know. I could see you like growling. I'm just gonna
sitting in my
imagine.
chair like, you lying son of a bitch.
Exactly.
Liar.
I love the where Peter realizes he can generate the random matter and stuff, and he makes a baseball, and then they play catch like father and son.
Oh my gosh, I was like, this is so, like, that was the only time I'm like, this is so fucking corny. But I knew like
It's
it
supposed
was
to
meant
be.
to be that way. But I was like,
I love when he's like, I'm gonna make a statue of Pac-Man. He's like, Dad, I'm gonna make some weird shit. Like he's talking about like building stuff and all that.
Right.
That was pretty good. Or am I?
yeah, I just. Like,
again,
I
we're all
knew
over the
from the
place.
get-go, like, I was like, no, something bad's going to happen. Like,
Mm-hmm.
he's not a good guy.
It's true. So we cut to this is all over the place, so we're not really going in order.
No,
Yondu
it's fine.
on the this is a Disney movie, and he's banging a robot prostitute.
Yeah, I thought that was...
Kudos to Disney for having some
Yeah.
balls,
He's like, they're coming up on it, and then he's like zipping his pants, and I was like, did that just happen?
Just banged a robot prostitute.
Is this whole planet is
Just
prostitutes?
Bars and prostitutes.
Yeah, that's an awesome planet. By
From
the way.
here, we see Sylvester Stallone's character, which I cannot remember. He is actually one of the original members, technically, of the Guardians.
He's Starhawk.
Starhawk, okay. They kind of have this little interaction between him and Yondu, where Yondu is banished from the Ravagers, or like his group of Ravagers were banished from like the big group of the Ravagers because of the whole child, trafficking thing. not knowing that, like, we find out later why, that Yondu's not such a bad dude, right?
Right.
The whole thing where it's like, at your funeral, they'll never shine the
colors
of the Ravagers, the light of the Ravagers. That's kind of like, obviously you get the idea that's kind of like a ceremonial thing.
Mm-hmm. You're like, bum, bum, bum.
And Yondu's really kind of broken up about that, so you kind of really see him like real vulnerable at that time.
Yeah,
and that's where you kind of get like some of the guys. You get Taserface, who's kind of like
God.
Kind of starting a mutiny. Getting the idea. You kind of see like the little bit of dissension in the Ravagers. Yeah. Let me ask you this: we get Kurt Russell, and we get Sylvester Stallone in the same movie. How do we not get a Tango and Cash reference?
I don't know.
I'm so pissed.
I'm surprised they didn't somehow throw that in.
I know, right?
Yeah.
Pisses me off.
But I will say, like, I was surprised at how impressed I was by Sylvester Stallone. Like, I just feel, he's 70. He's, like, built like a brick shit house.
Yeah, he's a big dude.
Still intimidating.
He's
and
a big
still,
boy.
like some of his past, like, his more recent movies, I'm just like, bleh. But I was
gotta see Creed. Creed's good. He's Rocky. It's basically Rocky again, but,
yeah.
Yeah, he did good. I love how we kind of learned a little bit more about the Ravagers here. And I'm going to be very honest, I didn't really read the comic books.
Right.
The majority of what I know about Guardians is from the movies. So for me, being kind of like that, I guess I could say like casual fans when it comes to the Guardians, that was kind of cool learning a little bit more about them.
Right.
And the Ravagers, they're not really bunch of bad dudes. Like they're I kind of look at them as like Hell's Angels, kind of.
I feel like they're just space pirates.
They're just space pirates, but like they draw a line at a certain point.
Yeah, they do. Yeah.
So you see
like
that.
Human trafficking's a no-no.
Yeah, I guess so. Apparently. Yeah. What did you think about the twist? The whole with when Peter got he got I guess like hypnotized by Ego.
Oh well, when he started to get hit. Oh, like when he saw
we saw like
Galaxy?
the galaxy. Yeah.
I thought that was really cool. Like I loved how his eyes went. Like
he said eternity, and
eternity.
It has to have some kind of reference to something.
It is. Eternity is, I believe, another celestial, like the most powerful one. So it has to do with that.
Okay.
And there's reference to eternity in the first movie too. So I feel like they're kind of playing off of that. But yeah, when that all started to happen, I was like, "This is it. This is it. This is where we find out that he's bad."
So like the whole time, like Ego was trying to like. Peter has like the human part of him where he's like, I want to be this god, I want to be a celestial, but my friends, I don't want to leave my friends. And Ego's like, you got to understand that those things are temporary. We are forever.
Right. Is this when he mentions the tumor?
Man, no. This is like part way through. Like this is like when it's all starting, and then we kind of get those cuts because we get the cuts between.
Because that's when Nebula and Gamora are fighting.
Yeah, they're fighting, which amazing scene.
That was so cool.
Nebula stealing one of the ships, gunning her down. She just literally just wrecks the ship.
Right.
Gamora saves her. They battle a little bit more. And then this is where they kind of have like a little bit of they make up,
Right. They have that
Gamora.
sisterly moment.
Exactly. From here, and this whole time, like, Mantis is real uneasy. And she kind of wants to say something to Drax. She's like, Drax, I have something to say to you. And then Gamora comes out. And Gamora's kind of like a bitch about it.
Yeah.
And I know, I'm so sorry. We're bouncing all around. But
it's okay.
It's fine.
If they've seen the movie, they know what we're talking
about. Yeah, you guys know what I'm talking about. I love how, like, it's almost like Mantis is very intimidated by Gamora, which goes back to the first time when she was trying to read their memories, and she's like, she goes to Gamora, and Gamora's like, I'm going to fuck you up.
I will break your wrist.
Exactly.
Well, Gamora's kind of scary. So,
She
for
is.
someone like Mantis who's very naive and, like, doesn't know social cues, it's going to be very awkward for her.
So she knows that Ego is real fucked up. Ego is a bad dude. And we kind of get that idea. And obviously when he's trying to, like, turn Peter, against his friends, that's one thing. So let's stop there. Let's cut over to our friends who were captured. Yondu,
Oh my gosh,
who got
Yondu and
turned on
Rocket.
by the rest of the Ravagers.
Oh, that's right. Yeah,
and
yeah,
Taserface.
And Taserface.
I love it. Rocket and then Groot. And it made me sad the way they were treating Groot.
I was so mad when Groot was in that cage and they were pouring the beer on him. I was
They were trying to stomp on him.
pissed off. Like, I wanted to physically fight them. I'm
Love
not
it.
even kidding you. Like,
Yeah, it was sad. It was sad.
like if Taserface was a real person, I would have fought Taserface.
Did you like the little
Baby Groot.
the Ravagers jacket that
That they put on him?
they
That
put
was
on
so
him?
cute.
It was actually kind of
It
cute.
was really adorable.
This is probably one of my favorite parts of the movie because for comedic, first of all, I love the serious interaction between Rocket and Yondu, where they kind of realize they're very similar. You know, in the past movie, they were kind of, they were at odds and all that, and they kind of they see themselves as pushing their friends away, and they really don't mean to. So that's kind of a real cool thing. They figure they're like, okay, we're gonna get out of here. They have to get Yondu's fin, his mohawk from Taserface.
I was so excited about the mohawk.
That's good, and I'm glad they finally brought it back. That was real cool. The interactions with like Groot, you need to go get the, and he comes back with like a toe, and like
The toe. When he brought back that toe,
what else did he bring back?
he brought back a toe. He brought
desk.
back one of those rats.
Yeah.
He dragged over a desk. He brought the guy's eye from the first movie.
And then Rocket, it's kind of a callback to the first movie. He's like, hey, go get this. Leave the eye.
Yeah, because it'll be funny.
Exactly.
But yeah,
love that.
when he brought the toe and he was like, do you guys just have toes laying around?
So
We're never going to
Groot must
mention
have
this.
ripped somebody's toe off.
That's amazing.
Yeah. And then we get, who is Sean Gunn's character? What is his name?
I don't know, actually, if he has a name.
He's basically
I'm sure he has a name.
We'll just say second in command.
Yondu Jr.?
Yeah, Yondu Jr. The dude who is always loyal to Yondu, right? Mm-hmm. He actually just gets the fin himself, right? They escape. This is probably one of my favorite escape scenes. Scenes.
So cool.
Yondu is
Oh, Kraglin.
Kraglin. Okay.
Duh.
When Yondu gets his arrow and is murdering,
Just
and
kills
This is another
everybody.
thing for Disney. There's a very violent scene,
Yeah.
like going through people's faces and hearts and stuff, and just blood everywhere.
And like people are just falling off like the things, like just dying. I was
love
like,
it. It's just like mass murdering in a
Yeah.
Disney movie. I love it.
and Groot running after that guy and screaming.
Because that's a dude that was messing with them.
Ah, yeah.
Groot just straight up just threw the dude off
That was
the
amazing.
balcony. Good escape scene. I love that. And obviously they go and they're traveling.
They
to
blow up
Ego.
Taserface.
They do blow up Taserface. What do you think about the interactions between Rocket and Taserface?
That was so amazing.
was
Did
pretty
you
good.
see like the drool like coming off of him like onto his beard like as he was above Rocket? I was like, oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Like, it's metaphorical. And I like how the other Ravagers are like making fun of him too.
Yeah,
the
they
whole
start to
time.
laugh
They're
and-
trying not to laugh the whole time.
I loved when he went to tell the Sovereign where they were at, and she was like,
She started laughing.
he was like, tell him Taserface sent you, and she just busted up. Like I was like, oh my god, that's great.
And then that goes back to what you said, like perfect comedic timing. You know. From here, obviously, we get the rescue. I love when they're jumping all the
Oh my
different
God, when they jumped.
galaxies and all that, and it was like, I don't think it was needed, but it was just like, okay, that's kind of weird. They're just doing like these weird morphing, like they're warping the
Yeah.
whole time, like because they're traveling so fast. So, it's
Yeah,
fine.
I liked that. That was funny. Like the faces were all getting distorted and shit. Like I loved it.
And
It was
this is
so
the
good.
one I mentioned it to you off the air, but it took my wife, and she likes the Marvel movies, but she's not really an opening night kind of person, but she was really into it, and she
Now has she seen the first one?
oh yeah
Okay.
yeah we watch it a bunch of times, like it's upstairs in my DVD collection. When Peter was kind of like he's still torn between being a Celestial and his friends. And then they go back to the subject about his mother.
Yeah.
And then when Ego says, it just pained me to have to put that tumor in her head. And that's the one thing that snapped him out. That's my wife is like, what the fuck? In the middle of the theater.
I could hear her doing that too. I audibly was like, oh shit.
And he's just like, what? That completely snaps him
Oh
out.
yeah. Because you don't mess with a boy's mama.
Yeah.
Like you just don't do
And
that.
that's a huge thing because this whole time you think, okay, it's tragic, she died. And then it's like Ego
He
killed her.
fucking killed her.
Because
so he could harvest him.
he can harvest, and they show like the thing that where he's been with all these other women and all
Yes.
that. And it's like,
oh my god.
at that point, that's to the point where I'm like, this dude needs to die.
Yeah,
This
like
dude's-
fuck this guy.
So-
Like it's done.
Peter tries to blow him away. It doesn't work. You know, real creepy when he's like the skeleton where he kind of.
Oh god, that was so creepy.
Yeah, that was some
I was
good
like,
effects.
that might give me nightmares.
Yeah. From here we get. Is this? Where am I? What am I getting here? This is.
We're almost near the end.
Yeah, this is where.
This is just like the big fight scene.
Yeah,
where they're
we're getting the whole like Ego is literally the planet at this point. I forgot how he got blown away at first. Oh, the damn spaceship crashed into him.
Yeah, the spaceship crashed.
He becomes the planet. They need to go to the core to blow it up. Okay. We have the batteries that Rocket stole in the very beginning. I love it. They go down there. This is where we get the famous scene from the first trailer with the death button.
I am Groot.
I love how it's extended though. Or like,
No.
or like Quill's going to everybody and trying to get tape.
Do you have tape? No one's got tape.
And I like when he goes like you hear him like interacting with Drax. He's like, yeah, Drax, Scotch tape would work. And he's like, well, if you don't have any, why would you ask? And I love when he goes back to Rocket. He's like, so did you ask Nebula? He's like, well, I asked Drax, and he was right next to her. It's kind of like, no, I don't want to talk to her. He's like, so you didn't ask her. He's like nobody has tape. You know?
Yeah. If anybody would have tape, you would have the tape.
I love
Yeah,
it.
it was good. It was a real. I am Groot. I am Groot.
I love it. It's extended, but it's we've seen it a million times, but it is great.
It's a great scene.
When Ego is crushing everybody, and this is when Rocket and Yondu and everybody they arrived for the rescue, obviously, and it made me sad when Groot was in the little cave and he's getting crushed. And you see the little tear come down.
I was like, "Don't kill my baby Groot."
I know, right? And then I love the battle with Peter and Ego. And the whole thing where Peter and Yondu are kind of arguing about, like, I think they say, like, I got these powers, but I made a ball. And Yondu's like, all you can do is make a ball? And he's like, yeah, that's all I can think of. And he's like, you don't do that with your brain. And then it kind of cuts off. Mm-hmm. And then it forwards later where he says, I don't move my arrow with my mind, I move it with my heart. And that kind of, like, makes him, like, flashback. And that's the holy shit moment. I'm going to kick your ass.
Yeah.
And I love that. And that's you cue in the Fleetwood Mac right there.
Right.
And we got to talk about the soundtrack too. We can do a two-parter.
We can do a two-parter.
Yeah, it's probably going to be a two-parter here. So this one will end in about 10 minutes.
Okay.
The battle with everybody is good. I love how Mantis is able to put Ego asleep, the planet, because that's why he kind of kept her around to help him sleep, because she can modify thoughts and feelings and whatnot. And the fact that she put the whole planet to sleep was pretty badass.
That was really cool. Like, I think that just shows, like, just a little bit of what her powers could really be.
Another one of my favorite little one-liners is when there's like a piece of shrapnel and it flies and it nails her in the head. And then Drax is like, look out! Like, too late. There's a couple different versions of that scene. You know that?
Right.
Where he does it, and there's like another like look out, like way too late, and there's another one where it hits her, and he's like that almost hit me, like something like that.
The one-liner I liked was actually at that part when she puts Ego to sleep, and he's like, "You can do it. I believe in you." And then she does it, and he goes, "Oh my god, I didn't think she could do it." Yes. So it's like, "Oh my god, Drax, you ass!"
Drax is way better in this movie.
Oh yeah. I feel like his character. I just put my shoes on your couch.
That's okay. This is a crappy couch. It's fine.
I liked his character development. I really felt like we got to see more of him, like when he was talking about his daughter.
Yeah, and there's so much I miss because we're just kind of like flying through this. But yeah, I love that when he's talking about his daughter, when they're talking about how beautiful the planet is. And he's like, it reminds me of me taking my daughter out to a place like this. So, he's still got that soft spot. The whole thing about Thanos killing his family, which I really think is going to come back in Infinity War. So I'm a little worried about Drax.
Yeah. I don't think anything's going to happen to Drax.
You don't think so?
Nah.
I hope not.
I think it'll be all right.
My God, we're missing so much. So Let's do the
Mary
finale.
Poppins, y'all.
Oh my God. Okay. Okay. So we get the battle between.
We'll end this one on this.
So yeah, Peter like whoops the shit out of Ego, and they're floating down from like everybody's kind of got rocket packs on and all that, and freaking Yondu's floating now because he has his arrow.
Yeah.
And he's like, "You look like Mary Poppins," and he's like, "Is he cool?" He's like, Peter's like, "Yeah, he's cool." He's like, "I'm Mary Poppins, y'all."
I laughed so hard.
Do you see how many memes of that?
Oh yes, it's all over
you
the
buy
place.
a T-shirt.
You can?
It says I'm Mary Poppins, y'all.
Oh my gosh, that T-shirt's gonna be mine.
It has it's like the outline of Mary Poppins, but it has Yondu's head.
That's fantastic.
It's amazing.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to buy that T-shirt because that's amazing. I love it.
Exactly.
Yeah, that was a really good part of the movie.
Groot did hit the right button, which is good.
Yes.
And then we get like your normal Marvel or any kind of superhero movie, the countdown. We got to get out of here before something blows up, right? Mm-hmm. And I was really worried because like they left Peter down there with Yondu, and the Ego's planet, right? Everybody else got to the ship, Drax and Mantis, Nebula and Gamora, and then Rocket got back there. But before he leaves, he gives one spacesuit and one rocket pack to Yondu, and he's like, "All right, Yondu was like, you need to let me do this. I had never done nothing good in my life before," and it's like, oh God.
Yeah, at that moment I realized like what he was doing, and when that happened,
Rocket knew what he was doing too.
Yeah, and like in true, like, because I'm sorry, I know how Marvel works. Coulson didn't die, Loki didn't die, Nick Fury didn't die, so I'm like, okay,
they'll figure it out.
They're gonna make us think that he's gonna die, and it's gonna be fine.
Because I thought he would be in the next
whatever.
one.
He's slated. He's on the list of characters for Infinity Wars.
That's so weird.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So I don't know if they were doing that just to fuck with us or
I don't
what.
know, probably. But Rocket, they all get back, and it looks like Gamora's going to go out there to save Peter. And I love the line where he's like, "No more of my friends are going to die today." Mm-hmm. And it's like, oh, God. Mm-hmm. So he just, like, shoots her. Just like, lays her out. Drax can't open the door. Nobody can open the doors. They blast off. And then the whole thing, I love the line with Peter and Ego where he's like, "You're just going to be one of them." And he's like, how is,
what's so wrong with that?
Yeah, what's so bad about that? And then you think, okay, well, is Peter going to die? It's kind of weird if Peter dies. And then Yondu flies in, saves him. And I love the line where he's like, that may be your father, but I'm your daddy.
Yeah, I was like...
And then they get into space. He puts the breather on him. And then that's like the sad part where like Yondu sacrifices himself.
And I really thought that they were going to like bring like the spaceship in and like at the last second, like they were going to like suck him in. And I'm sitting there and I'm like, okay, where's the ship? Okay, it's not happening. Okay,
he's
okay,
dead, yeah.
Okay, what's happening? Why is he?
Oh my God, no, he's dead. When he like held him by his head? Like,
yeah, when he's holding his face in his hands, I'm sobbing.
Like he cared about him. Like he kept
like
him
a real father.
Because he found out that Ego is slaying all of his kids.
Yeah.
We got about 7 minutes left in this first half right
okay.
here, so.
And like I am not a crier. Like, me. Like I'm full on sobbing. Like so much that there's like a pool of tears in my neck.
Is this worse than when Groot died in the first one?
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, like I didn't even cry when Groot died in the first one.
You didn't cry when Groot died?
Didn't, like I sniffled.
The whole "We Are Groot" thing.
Yeah, no, I didn't cry.
Oh man, that got me all teary-eyed.
So I mean, I got a little like.
You didn't cry when Rocket was crying over Groot?
No, I didn't cry. I'm not a crier.
You are a heartless person.
I am. I'm heartless. Like I don't cry. So I am like sobbing in this movie theater. My brother can hear me next to him. Like that's how hard I'm
Did he
crying.
Yell at you?
No, he made fun of me.
Oh, good.
So. Like, I'm just sobbing about this. Mm-hmm. And, like, I know more than compose myself.
Yeah.
That they do the funeral, and I start sobbing all over again.
Did you like and this is kind of a callback to earlier in the movie where Peter has this story about how he used to lie to his friends.
Oh, yeah.
Hasselhoff. We get the appearance from David Hasselhoff.
That was so fun.
When Ego morphs into him. But I love the whole speech where he's like, Yondu is my David Hasselhoff. He drove cool cars, bang hot girls.
Yeah.
It's like, come on, Disney. Really?
Right.
And it was really cool. It was really sad. And then they had the Cat Stevens.
They were playing father and son. Like the minute that started to play,
like,
and
nope.
he put that troll down. I lost it all over again. Like, I was like just a blubbering baby watching this movie. Like, I don't know what happened. I have no idea what came over me.
Did you think the Zune was a kind of nice little...
Oh my gosh, when he gave him the Zune, and then baby Groot sitting on his lap, like a little son. I'm like, fuck my life. I'm just going to cry. I'm just going to sob.
That's crazy.
You would have made so much fun of me.
No, I was getting a little choked up too, and then... The big thing, even with that, was the Ravager funeral when they showed up, and Rocket's the one that got it all together.
Yeah,
he's the one.
like Rocket, man.
So Rocket's got a good heart, and then the fact like how it was real beautiful how they did it, and then you got the Cat Stevens song playing. It's really
like okay, Disney, here you are.
And I'm thinking they're gonna do like one more like little zinger or something. Then that's how they end the film.
That's how they end the movie.
They end the film with a zoom in on Rocket crying.
Yeah.
It's like, oh my god. I'm
like, fuck.
This is the end of Guardians?
Yeah.
Part 2? I'm like, really?
I thought they were going to, like, fade to black and then, like, go to something else. But, like, no, the credits came up. And I was like, oh, well, all right then. Here we are.
So we're going to wrap up this first part here. We're going to, obviously, literally, if you guys are listening, just stay listening live. There's going to be a part 2. We're going to go over the Easter eggs, and we're going to go over
end scenes,
and I want to talk about the importance of the casting and the soundtrack, which is a huge thing with Guardians of the Galaxy. So we will be back in one moment.